And we're back, I think. It says reconnection successful. What happened? I'm annoyed. Yeah, destination won't fit either. I'll come up with something to put on the signs, but it's for the best that they're hanging signs there, if that keeps the villager in place. And also allows them to sleep in the bed. I mean, I have a thing over here that doesn't allow the villagers to sleep in a bed. That's... I guess I could just ditch the bed. I don't need the bed. It's very interesting, though. I should experiment with hanging signs more often. Oh well. We should get into the analysis. And in that case, I'm going to pop over to the survival world, where I will first do the analysis and then maybe set aside a spot for that map art. Actually, give me just a second. I'm going to see if I can figure out what caused OBS to disconnect. I'll be right back. It was the usual culprit, the microwave. But I'm not going to complain because roommate was melting butter to use in brownies. And it feels like a bad idea to complain about brownies. Alright.
I don't remember this being here.
Are you sure this is a shortcut to Minecraft Live?
Absolutely. I'll prove it. Huh? Oh. This is the armadillo, one of the mobs that wants to join Minecraft. It lives in warm places, like this savanna biome. The armadillo drops skewed, which can be used to craft armor for your wolf. This will give your favorite four-legged friend some extra defense against hostile mobs. I am not lost, but do you know the way to Minecraft Live?
Do you want the armadillo to join Minecraft? Voting opens on October 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and you'll have 48 hours to cast your vote.
That feels like an important detail. Warm places like this savanna biome. It's kind of orange, so I'm pulling out acacia for this one. And let's use white for the dye for this one. All right. Mob number 2.
Huh? Oh. This is the armadillo.
I don't think there are a ton of different variants of armadillo, but I could be incorrect. I wonder if dark gray dye would work better here. I thought a brightly colored dye would work, but it's still kind of dim on top of that. Or maybe brown. I'll try brown. Not that one, this one. I'll try gray, and I'll try brown.
One of the mobs that wants to join Minecraft. It lives in warm places, like this savanna biome. The armadillo drops skewed, which can be used to craft armor for your wolf. This will give your favorite four-legged friend some extra defense against hostile mobs. I am not lost. But do you know the way to Minecraft Live?
Do you want the armadillo to join Minecraft? Voting opens on October 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and you'll have 48 hours to cast your vote.
I think the brown works best on this background, which means I'm going to need one more brown dye because I covered over it. Oh well.
I don't...
Okay. Fortunately, there's some right over here. I'll have to think about this. Because wolf armor is something that a bunch of people have been asking for. But I think this is one of the main issues with the mob vote. I'll call it bonus reach. Because it's not quite extra reach for everything. And calling it bonus reach, I feel like better conveys what it is. That's adequate. Okay.
Remember this being here. Huh? Oh. This is the armadillo, one of the mobs that wants to join Minecraft. It lives in warm places, like this savanna biome. The armadillo drops skewed. Savanna biome, one of the mobs that wants to join Minecraft. It lives in warm places, like...
Left it behind.
this savanna biome. The armadillo drops scute, which can be used to craft armor for your wolf. This will give your favorite four-legged friend some extra defense against hostile mobs. I am not lost, but do you know the way to Minecraft Live?
Do you want the armadillo to join Minecraft? Voting opens on October 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and you'll have 48 hours to cast your vote.
They don't say. Oh, it curls up into its armor. They don't say that, but they show it 3 times. And it is typical armadillo behavior to do that. Curls up, question mark, question mark, question mark. I'll put that on there. Unknown. All biomes. We don't know all of its spawn biomes. We don't know other animations, because it showed off a few there, like Professor Gillett pointed out. The scream. Scream.
This is the armadillo, one of the mobs that wants to join Minecraft. It lives in warm places, like this savanna biome. The armadillo drops scute, which can be used to craft armor for your wolf. This will give your favorite four-legged friend some extra defense against hostile mobs. I am not lost, but do you know the way to Minecraft Live?
Do you want the armadillo to join Minecraft? Voting opens on October 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and you'll have 48 hours to cast your vote.
It doesn't say it, it just shows it. Very interesting. I feel like this sums it up pretty well.
But do you know the way four-legged friend some extra...
Doesn't say as much about this one as they do in the crab video, which is interesting. Now you might expect this one to be a shoe-in because of the wolf armor thing, but I don't know. I suspect people will start to spread rumors about the crab claw, suggesting that breaking things from further away might be the real use of them. Even if that's not true. And the crab might win. I'm rooting for the crab so far. But I wouldn't mind if either of these got in. And so we're going to start in on the back of the board, which I'm henceforth naming Problems with MC Live Mob Vote. Mob votes. There we go. How about existing in the first place? We'll get into that, I think. I'm gonna make some more spruce signs. We can discuss problems with it and possible solutions. Actually, no, that should be enough wood there. And then I'll go grab some green and some red. There should be plenty of that over here. If I nab... The spruce is a darker sign, so white ought to work with this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'll cook that up. The gray dye can go in. Plenty of that there. I'll harvest sheep real quick, since I have the opportunity. Cyan in particular is valuable because it augments my banners. My banner supply, rather. It supports that. But I do have plans for all of this wool. I'm going to use carpets, if I can, to make the map art. And then, once I have made the map art and can lock it, I can just wash the carpets into one spot, in theory. And it'll be a lot easier to collect them and then make new map art in that location. Did I see some here? I think I did, but I might have picked it up through the wall. Alright. There we go. Is there anything that I'm spectacularly short on? Brown wool, it looks like. But I have a bunch of that in... I have a lot of that in the chest by the village. Still, though, can't hurt to further increase my supply. I have a bunch of that. Good. Sorry, I had to scratch my nose. Very good. Okay. I don't think any of the furnace types will cook up green dye faster. Alright, here we go. You put existing in the first place as one of the cons to the mob vote. Yeah, let me remove that. Sorry, I had to leave for a moment. What did I miss? Just cooking up some green dye. I'm further working on this wall of signs here. Oh, and white dye should work on these. Yeah, that's okay. Can I just copy paste that? I can. Excellent. Which means if I want to keep this around but ever want to move this, then I can just copy paste the signs and move them that way one at a time. I would do that off camera though, because it would likely be boring to watch. There we go. Okay. Problem number 1. Mojang may rig the vote. Rig the vote through by gerrymandering. And when I say that, I mean essentially setting up one of the mobs to win by pitting it against mobs that don't stand a chance against it. For example, if you were to toss one of the older losers, like the Chillager, the Isolager rather, against two more useless feeling stinky mobs like the Tough Golem. The Tough Golem did not get a lot of love. And I don't know, what's another good example? The Glare. Nobody liked the Glare. If you were to toss the Isolager, as it is called, against the Glare and the Tough Golem, the Isolager would almost certainly come out on top, just because more people liked it than the other ones. Mojang has the unique position of deciding exactly what they want to put in the mob vote. So if they're leaning towards one, they could just come up with 2 mobs that they know will not get a good amount of support in the community. They can do that if they want. And a lot of times it feels like they do. There's often a mob that feels like it's meant to be the shoo-in. And that's disappointing. Let me stick this again and sleep. This one, this one. And that leads nicely into problem number 2. Losers are gone forever. Now, this wasn't the case with the biome votes. The biome votes are still getting updated. The swamp, which lost to the taiga, as I recall, has been updated. They added the they added the mangrove swamp. So now that the initial biomes are getting, I think this is the swamp lost to the taiga. That sounds right. I may be incorrect there. But now that the initial biome vote winners have all been updated, they're starting work on the losers. And that brings up an interesting point. My little bro actually gave me a smidgen of a spoiler for this one earlier today. We were talking, and he wasn't trying to give me spoilers, but he said that he suspects that the final mob for the vote might be in another one of the losing biomes. And that's because the fiddler crab lives in the swamp, and it gave me a hint that this mob also lives in one of the losing biomes, and it does. The savanna was a biome that lost the mob vote. A biome that lost the biome vote in a previous year. I'll stick these beetroot seeds in this barrel. And I'll have a handful of them as well. Yep, nope, they all processed, okay. Which is very interesting. I don't know exactly how to feel about that. But yeah, for the mob votes, they have said explicitly in the past that the losers are gone forever. I'd have to check whether exactly they've said that this time or not. But I'm pretty sure it's implied at this point. Now, for some cases, that feels incredibly harsh. If we get the armadillo, then no crabs will come to Minecraft ever, is the implication. Which is upsetting, because I wish we lived in the timeline where both crab and armadillo got into Minecraft eventually. And I'd be happy to vote for which one gets in Minecraft first, but that's not how it is. That's not how it is. They're making us choose. Forever. So... 2 groups. 2 mobs sad. Blah, 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 blah. Other fans sad. There we go. And I really wish that the Rascal had gotten in, and there was actually more support for the Rascal than I initially thought. Mojang is limiting itself for no reason. Yeah. That's a good way to put it, because if they, and here's the next problem actually. I'll write it this way. Mojang is creating. Okay, Mojang creates artificial scarcity. They're saying we're only going to work on these mobs. We're only going to work on one of these mobs, when they could easily just take more time to work on all of the mobs later, instead of just axing them entirely. I can understand that time is a limiting factor when it comes to development. It is very hard to develop something cohesive. And I have pretty much always, I have always stood behind Mojang when it comes to the rate at which they develop. And I know a lot of people are mad at them for this. But even if they maintain, and I'm not saying that they couldn't potentially put out more content, but I am saying that if this is the rate at which they've decided to develop the game, then I understand that. However, if they say we're only going to spend development time on these things, on one of these things, so the other ones, so that makes the winner of the vote more valuable. That's artificial scarcity, and that is bogus. Their development time is not a limited resource in the sense that they're running out of it. Their development time is only a limited resource in that it is stretched across a certain period of time. I hope what I'm saying is making any sense whatsoever. They have infinite development time stretching out infinitely into the future. So there's nothing saying that they couldn't work on the other things later. It's fine. It's perfectly fine if they want to create scarcity by saying we're only going to work on one of these things now. That's still understandable. But saying, implying at least, that they only have time to work on one of the mobs total, or they only want to put in the effort to work on one of the mobs total, is it's just, it feels a little scummy, honestly. Professor Duout says, understandable that they don't want sharks for previously stated reasons, but saying they will never add something that they have said they would be willing to add is BS. Yeah, that sums up a lot of feelings about that, yeah. They have offered to work on these, but only if the people who want them are the most outspoken about it. That's really what it comes down to. Another problem is drawing board mobs create vagueness. Drawing board mobs equals vague makes vague video equals misinfo. There we go. That sums up that point, I think. When they present the mobs that, up to that point, and this may not be the case for all of them, which here, let me put on a little music. When they present the mobs, they are essentially stating these mobs are in the very early development stage. And because of that, they don't give out many details on the mobs. But they still have to make the little trailers that they do interesting. So that results in a lot of details that may not end up, that end up in the trailer that may not end up related at all to the final product. Such as, for example, the glow squid doing the hypnosis thing. Or the way... I don't think sniffers ever go plump on the ground like they do in the trailer. On another note, the reasons for not adding sharks but support adding axolotls and pandas are contradictory. That's... That's an interesting way to look at it. But the vagueness of the videos and the lack of development that has been put into some features results in a lot of speculation going around, and that results in a lot of misinformation being repeated as though it is fact, and that leads to problems with the vote. It leads to people believing things are the case that are not the case, or are only nebulously possible. And that means that informed decisions are not always made. I was thinking about this earlier. What's another one? I was listing them earlier in my head. Minecraft fans get mad at each other, and that leads to an upsetting amount of tension in the fan base, in the player base. Oh, that's the other one. Mob votes can become about mechanics, not mobs. Because if you look at these, you think, oh, the crab is really cute, the armadillo is really cute. I don't really care which one wins, so I'll vote for whichever one brings the mechanic that I prefer. And I imagine a bunch of people are going to want to vote for the wolf armor. They aren't voting for the armadillo, they're voting for the wolf armor. And that suggests to me that the armadillo might be the one that Mojang want to be the winner this year. And there's actually another interesting thing that I noted. The adding sharks as a passive mob would not only solve the supposed problem of people being motivated to kill them, but would also raise awareness. The circumstance of each would become the same. That's a good point. That's a good point. I think I agree with that. What was I saying? Right, last year, the sniffer won, and a lot of people... One of the things that led to people voting against the Tough Golem and against the Rascal were, oh, the Rascal just gives you an iron pickaxe when you find them. That's basically useless. And, oh, the Tough Golem is just an armor stand, except worse. And those were both not the case. Those were both exaggerations made on the part of people who didn't want those to win. But I'm entirely certain that that influenced some people's votes. And it became about voting for the mechanic that was added, not about voting for the mob that you wanted to see added. But beyond that, I'm almost wondering sometimes, thanks to, in part, the enormous lead that the Sniffer reportedly got over the other mobs, whether they count the votes at all. Because at this point, I find myself asking, is it possible that Mojang just has a set winner in mind, and then they rig it either so that people will vote for the one they want to win, and they do that by presenting more information or pitting them up against mobs that they're certain will get less support, or they could just ignore the votes and just make sure that it looks like popular opinion is in favor of the one they want to win. If they make it look like Sniffer supporters are everywhere, then nobody will be surprised when the Sniffer wins. And they can get away with adding what they wanted to be certain to add. Now, I'm not saying that's necessarily the case, but it really feels like it might be. And it's frustrating to me, to say the least. I can stick more of that in there. And a part of the evidence that leans into that is how well the Sniffer worked with the update that they intended to add that mob in, archaeology. You get the Sniffer egg through archaeology. The other two mobs, the Rascal and the Tough Golem, weren't really related to that update at all, which suggests that they may have expected them to lose. The update cohesiveness is a big part of what makes a good update a good update. And they can toss in lots of little details, but I don't know. It just feels like they expected the Sniffer to win. And it was kind of obvious after a certain point that the Sniffer was going to be the winner, just because of how much outspoken support it had. And meanwhile, the other mobs were constantly being bad-talked, bad-mouthed by, I assume, Sniffer supporters. It's disappointing, to say the least. And it does call into question, to a degree, the integrity of the vote. It doesn't help that in past years they used an open public forum where the results were obvious to everyone after a certain point. Where they moved from that to also allowing voting in the server and stuff. but not displaying the results of the server vote or the launcher vote until it was time to reveal the winner of each round. Which I feel like was a big misstep on their part. Unless, of course, it was done intentionally. If they want transparency, then they should present the numbers as they come from the launcher vote and from the server vote. I feel like comparing the sniffer to the armadillo is apples to oranges. I feel like there is a huge gap based on whether the mob is real or fantasy. That's a good point. I wasn't trying to compare the armadillo to the sniffer. I was trying to compare the situation of this year's mob vote to last year's mob vote, where there was one that was a clear winner based on the mechanics as people understood them. If that makes sense, perhaps I'm not getting my point across ideally. And I'd like to continue to discuss over the course of the mob vote reaction videos what solutions for these problems might be. Voting on the launcher means that Mojang can manipulate whatever they want. They could, yeah. That's one of the things I was worried about, which is why they should be clear about which one is winning in those situations. Initially, the voting was done on Twitter, and you could see after you voted, let me just speak clearly. You could see after you voted how well the one you had voted for was doing. And then eventually the poll would close and it would lock in place and you could see exactly how many votes everything had. But there isn't a system like that present on the launcher. If they want to inspire confidence in the vote, then they should provide some sort of system for seeing which mob is currently on the lead on each platform. And I'm all for making it more publicly available for people to vote on this and, you know, in other circumstances. Current events. But that comes with a certain responsibility for, in cases like this, for clarity and for transparency. Anyway, maybe I've been rambling on for too long. And they don't even have to necessarily develop the losers later. They could just say they might be developed later. Potentially. develop other options later. Say the losers might come back someday. Because they already had the perfect solution in their hands. Mojang may rig the vote by gerrymandering. Solution? I don't have a great solution for that. It doesn't help that different details are revealed at different times. There was, and I think I mentioned this before, there was a lot of speculation going around about the sniffer before the tough golem was even revealed. And at that point, I don't think it stood a chance. It's kind of interesting to me how the sniffer was revealed first, then the rascal, then the tough golem. And that's the order in which they had the most votes. Sniffer, rascal, tough golem. In that order. I suppose the solution there would be better... a better balance. Or equivalence between options. I think one of the developers said something on Twitter, because I heard a little bit of buzz about it, that all of the options for the mob vote this year were cute mobs. And so far that's the case. Armadillo is cute. Crab is really cute. Armadillo, if it does the little squeak thing when it's scared, like the trailer suggests that it might, really cute. So if none of them has the factor that it can hold over the others of, oh, this mob is the cutest mob in the vote, we should definitely vote for it. If none of them have that factor, biome great votes feel great because it creates hope. Yeah, you're essentially saying, hey, well, these are the biomes that we're going to focus on updating next. Which one do you want us to do first? And that's leaving a hand in the development of the game. That's leaving a portion of the development of the game in the hands of the player base, without leaving all of the creative power in the hands of the player base. And I feel like that helps out the balance a bit. Possibly all real as well, considering the last two were all fantasy. Yeah, that's another thing. Are people more likely to vote for a fantasy mob than a real-life mob? Or vice versa? As long as they're all on the same playing field, then it's more likely that one of them doesn't have a strict unfair advantage over the others, and will not become the automatic winner. Drawing board mobs equals vague video equals misinformation. Solution: develop the mob a bit more before revealing them. That one is another one that could be solved if you plan to eventually, and it could be a year from now, it could be 5 years from now. I guarantee people would still be happy if Mojang added the Moobloom in, or the Blaze King, all the way back from the very first mob vote. I guarantee people would lose their minds if Mojang revealed, hey, we're working on the Blaze King now. They'd be like, they're working on the Blaze King? But we thought that one was gone forever. Mojang would generate so much positive buzz from that. I would be more willing to vote for a real one. Interesting to hear your opinion, Professor Duat. Good to know. Mojang would benefit so much in terms of hype, in terms of excitement for the game, if they revealed, and that mob is, how old is that? When was the Let me look this up. First mob vote Minecraft. How long ago was that? (2017) mob vote? No. This is so slow. Oh my gosh. That timing checks out. Yeah, Mob A, Mob B, Mob C, Mob D, yeah. The Barnacle, or the Monster of the Ocean Depths. Mob B, the Phantom. Mob C, the one that hides underground and is the trap. And then Mob D, the Blaze King. 2017. That's 6 years. Blaze King coming back would generate just as much interaction as outrage and hatred. Yeah. That's a 6-year-old mob vote loser. I still see as much, if not more, hype about the losers than about the winners. A lot of the time. If people announced that the Copper Golem was in development, or the Moobloom or Isolager was in development, if Mojang announced that, people would lose their minds. And if they did a little bit more, put a little bit more development work into each mob before they were revealed in the trailer, and they stated a little bit more concrete things, or only showed off behaviors that they knew would eventually make it into the game, for sure, and not things like glow squid hypnosis. If they could provide more concrete numbers on things like the Rascal gives you a selection of items when you solve their little puzzle game, instead of saying the Rascal gives you helpful things to mine, then if they did that and they showed off like multiple things that the Rascal was pulling out of the backpack, that would go so far in terms of combating misinformation and rampant speculation. Let's see. Problem. MC fans get mad at each other. Bad tension. Solution. Announcing dev work on loser mobs equals mega hype. Problem. Mob votes can become mechanic votes, not mobs. Solution. All planned mechanics will make it in later. Bam. All of the problems could be solved. All of them. All of them could be solved by doing a little bit more dev work on the mobs in question and planning to finish developing them later. Anyway, every single problem that the mob vote creates that I can think of would be solved by that. Every one. It's crazy to think about, honestly. Why haven't they done this yet? Why? Anyway, I've been rambling on and ranting for nearly 2 hours now. Yeah. Wow. I don't need to mess around with the Oh, that's right. I was going to find a location for the map art. Do I have a boat available? It'd probably be better to do it out in the ocean well, actually a great place would be around the desert, because that's above an ocean. Yeah. What blocks do I have that are really easy? Really easy, I mean, to get more of. Got a lot of stone. I'll take stone with me. And I'm sure I'm going to get more stone. And I'll start work on a map. Actually, I should... take maps with me. I definitely have some empty maps back in the chests over here. I saw that lava drips subtitle. I wonder if one of the cauldrons is full. That'll be a very good source of fuel. Lava is very powerful, but I should hook up furnaces and such with hoppers pulling the finished items out, and hoppers putting items to be done in, so that I can. What's that enchanted book? Efficiency 5. Okay. There it is. Empty maps. I'll take 2 in case one of them is bogus. Yeah. And a cartography table with me so I can work on it. Because I'll want to set this up in that location. And then I'll need glass panes as well, which I guess means I'll shove those in there for now and grab some glass. I won't need paper to increase its radius. I want it to be as small as necessary. I didn't mean to do that. Well, that's a map well spent, apparently. I don't know, what do I do with this? I'll leave it for later, I guess. Maybe something useful can come of that. Grab another one, in case I screw something up again. I'll take it off the hotbar so I don't screw it up again, if possible. I need to get to moving those guys into place so that I can cure more villagers. Apparently only once. Supposedly that bit of the villager rework is already in the game. Villagers will not have a benefit from curing them more than once. I'll test that out in the creative world. Time to head to the desert and check out where I can successfully make this map art. Wrong way. Should probably have left at least one in place. Desert's this way. I'm thinking about actually replacing the cake with a cherry blossom leaf. Because it's nice and pink, but more importantly, it will represent the big cherry tree on top of my base. And I'm also thinking about making that cherry tree bigger, like much bigger. The longer I stay in this spot, I'm going to make it larger and larger until it's enormous and it looks like a really old, twisted, gnarled, but beautiful cherry tree. I like that idea. Thought it'd be nice. Oh, I remember what one of the other projects was. Getting a frog over here. Gonna have to make multiple splash fire resist potions, I think. And bring a lead all the way out to the desert. It might have been beneficial to grab that stuff before coming here, but after the stream, I'll set it up for next time, I guess. And then I'll do that, so that I can try to react to the final mob vote mob while I lug a frog through the nether and try to stop it from burning to death. I'll make instant healing potions, too, if I can, so that I can restore its health if it gets hurt at all. And then I'll make 8-minute long fire resist potions, and I'll just periodically refresh it. Ew. Not an issue, apparently. Hello, Hoglin. I see you up there, but you can't see me down here, can you? That way is the desert, and also mesa, and also savanna, and also jungle. And this way is the desert. And also the coral reefs. Because it is really multiple coral reefs, isn't it? Hi, dummy. No, you don't want to tango with me. Piglin snorts angrily. That's not a good sound. That's not a good sound to hear. Oh dear. That's not a great sound to hear either. Piglin converts to zombified piglin. Ooh, you don't look so hot, Betty. I don't mind if one of you becomes a cartographer. I don't trade with you or anything. Are you a nitwit? I think you might be a nitwit. I see that green. Unless you have a job site already or someone else has claimed this one. Oh, someone else claimed this one. Okay. Novice cartographer, hello. I guess I'll just leave that to you. The baby camel from last time is still attracted to their parents, so they'll generally stay in the pit. If they grow up outside of there, though... Alright, I will go out into the ocean. Respiration is so good. Hello, dolphin. Wanna help me out with a little boost? Okay, I think I might be far enough away from any landmass here. Alright, what have we got? Is there landmass on this map? There is not. It's very large, though. Start building out in the corner here and just build all the way across, I guess. What's that thing? Is that a deeper spot or a less deep spot than anywhere else on this map? Close to the corner. Perfect. So yeah, that's that corner. Alright, I guess I will... I think in order to drowned-proof this, I will build it like such. But there will be a way up out of the water here. And this is going to take a while. And a lot of resources. Still on the map, yeah? Yeah. Interesting how I'm on the block line that is still on the map, but it shows me as being not on the map. Just by a smidge. Having a way to automate removing all of the carpets from this would be amazing. But I think what I'm going to do instead... I think what I'm going to do instead is likely just run around this thing with a water bucket. Yep, that's the corner. Sure enough. Okay. Thankfully, I did bring a lot of stone. Not nearly enough stone to go around, though. Fortunately, I have a plan, and it involves making a lot more stone. Through an ancient and convoluted method. Oh, nope. You come with me, thank you. Any height discrepancy will cause a little bit of a different coloration on the map. One more pixel down there on the bottom. And then that means that this should be spreading across the very bottom. Yep. I think... I think I'm going to make a little lip. Or a trough around the outside, which should catch any carpet and stop it from going out into the water when I pour water over this whole thing. One more, looks like. Okay. There's one more side to go. Oh, good. And it's raining. And I should just run into the bit that I built up there. I could almost nod off to this. Alright. So here's the deal. I can make a nice line of water all the way along this thing. And because water will fill in to make an infinite water source, if it is immediately in between two water source blocks, it's going to conveniently cover all along this side fork with water source blocks. I could just as easily have done this in the air if I had wanted to. Well, that's not true. It would have involved a lot of crouching for a long period of time while I made the perimeter, but still possible. Now, if I were to, say, place a block of water there, that will create more water sources all the way along. Oh, goodness. Oh, my eyes are so dry. Why are my eyes so dry? Ugh. Yep. And this is creating water source blocks all the way over to this corner. I can raise it there, though, apparently. Oh, I understand. Part of it was out of range. When I get closer, that should get back in the loading area, which in turn will make this catch up. I'm going to place this in the corner for you. Up, up, I made it. I need is a bucket of lava. Fortunately, I think I know where I can get my hands on one of those. Ba 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 bum, ba 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 bum. Why do I have that glass on? Oh, right, for the... Right. I'd like that, please. Thank you. I am running out of water. I am going to need to go get more water. Actually, yeah, your offhand thing is immune to the effects of the cube. Actually, it's probably faster to go down here through the nether. And get the lava that way. Now, just like water flowing over lava will turn it into obsidian, lava flowing over water will turn it into smooth stone. Which means I just have to go out to that. That's actually very convenient. How close of a location it is to... Yeah, ooh, very cool. How close of a location it is to the village. It's spawning mobs. Right, because of course it will. That's actually very slow. Hello, you. Excuse me, please. Maybe this would be faster if I had 2 buckets. It would be much faster if I was in the nether. Lava flowed faster and farther, but it comes with its own set of hazards, as well as the knowledge that lava will not be able to flow over water in the nether, because water cannot exist in the nether. Making spots in the map, though. Yeah, I could definitely be spending the time a little bit more efficiently, juggling 2 things of lava. I will go get another one. I don't need 2 buckets for it, I don't think. I can just bobble one back and forth. Yeah, next half hour of the stream, maybe just me quietly contemplating the armadillo. And working on this map. And then I can ditch the lava when necessary by dunking it in the water. Of course, this is only step 1. I still have to do the art. But once this site is complete, I'll be able to use it for all future map art. With, I don't think, any exceptions. I've been informed that my roomie has provided something delicious to eat, so I will probably call the stream at the 2.5 hour mark. Oops. Well, crumbs. Figures that should happen. A bad omen, perhaps. An indicator that maybe I should be done now. Got a lot of good talking done. And I guess I can do the rest of this off stream. I can't think of anything too exciting that will happen while I'm messing around with lava. That could never go wrong in any way. But, yeah, I'm gonna finish this off stream. Prepare off camera to hatch frogs here and then bring them back through the nether. And then we can do that next time, tomorrow, when we discuss the 3rd and final mob vote candidate. And I will possibly live settle on which one I'm going to vote for, based on all the information presented. Right now, I'm leaning crab. Probably helps that I had a crab. Well, a couple of crabs, actually, I think. Once, a long time ago, so I'm a little predisposed to them. But I'm a leaning crab. And I absolutely won't hate it if the armadillo gets in, because those things look stinking adorable. But, we'll see. I will do my best to remain unspoiled until the moment I hit play, as to what the final mob is. I will keep Minecraft open until tomorrow so that I don't have to open the launcher and see there. And I'll actually have my roommate help set up OBS so that I won't have to worry about spoiling it for myself with the settings and the name of the video. Once this place is covered in carpets, I won't have to worry so much about mobs here, but for now I should probably go and sleep, huh? That's mine now, thank you. Villager disagrees. That's funny, how that played out. I could have grabbed some of you. Hey, wait a minute. There's a library around here? Very interesting. Ouch. Where did the other camel go? I assume it grew up, and because it grew up, it stopped demanding to follow its parents, and as such is now lost somewhere. One, two, small. Where is other camel, Junior? Didn't wander into the nether, surely. Why would it? Why would it have done such a thing? Such a plum fool thing. Did you come down here, camel? I'm not seeing it. Because the place was unloaded, it should have stayed right outside here if it were. I don't think it could go in there because they are too large for that. I have no idea where it could have possibly gone, though. Just because this place is so vast. You know, it'll be a bit more peaceful if I do something more like... That was an accident. It'll be a bit more peaceful if I do something more like archaeology. Well... Oh, you're all the way over here. I don't think you want to be in there when you grow up, little guy. And will you follow me if I have cactus? I mean, in theory, you should just go straight back to your parents, but maybe if cactus, you follow? Hello? Yes. Move, please. That's it. Follow me. Yeah, you, get out of the way. There's a camel trying to follow me behind you. I think he's trying to follow me. No, no. No, don't sit down. That's it. Butcher, get out of the way. What are you trying to do to that poor camel? You are following me. Alright, come on. Let's put you and you in another pit. That way I can be certain that you won't, you know, crowd each other out. Wait, where'd the other one go? Camel. Camel number 2. Oh dear, not again. Other camel. Other small camel. Hello? Did you get yourself stuck in a house? Oh, right, my sand pit. Where on earth could it have gone? Aha, there you are. Yes. Come to me, please. Oh, boy. You guys are going to be frustrating to lead through the nether, aren't you? If you sit down in there, it might be the end of you. I'm glad I have a backup there. That's it. You stay right there. All right. Anyway, I'll keep working on that. See you next time. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum.